What's up, guys? Welcome back to Re-Wacktions, where I react to things that I have seen recently, usually movies. This time it will be non-spoilers for... the fuck was it called? Oh, Brightburn and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. So let's start talking about Brightburn. Basically, the story is if Superman started developing his powers at a young age, but he was also kind of mentally unstable, and he used his powers for evil. You can tell from the trailer that's what it's going to be. Also, I don't know who goes into a movie without seeing the trailer, without knowing anything about the movie. I don't know why anybody would do that. I don't think I've ever gone into a movie not knowing what it was going to be about or like at all. So you know from the trailer what this movie's basically going to be. Evil kid Superman. I will say that he does have a couple of powers in the movie that Superman does not have. To the best of my knowledge, Superman, there's a couple things that this kid can do that I have not seen Superman do. It's possible that he can do them, and maybe he's done them in like specific stories or comics or something, but I have not heard. It's not one of his main 4 or 5, tricks that he normally uses. I actually really liked this movie, Brightburn. I think it was, I thought it was fun. If you go into it already knowing what it's going to be like, not treating it as if it's a serious thing. If you go in thinking this is going to be just a horror movie, you might be a little disappointed. If you go in thinking it's going to be a superhero movie, you're definitely going to be surprised at the least. It's very gory. There's a few moments of extreme gore. I assume this is a rated R movie because it gets really, really graphic in a few moments. So that's kind of a warning for, like, if you don't like super gory graphic stuff, there's like 3 moments in this movie where I was watching with a buddy and we were both going, "Oh! Oh!" And like a couple times it goes on for like a minute and you're like, "Oh shit, what are they doing?" Yeah. But also, like, we were both like, "That's fucking great." Like, they went for it, I'd say the acting is okay. Elizabeth Banks is the mom, and I can't remember the dad actor name. It seemed like everybody was acting well. I had another friend mention that the kid that they chose didn't seem like he had enough of a personality or something. But I think that actually works to this movie's benefit because he seems a little off, maybe, or a little, maybe not unstable, but maybe like on the spectrum kind of thing. Like he's a little more shy and a little awkward. So I feel like that worked for the child character. But I mean, yeah, maybe probably didn't seem like he had a whole lot of a personality or whatever. But I think that works for the character, kind of being a semi-murderous sociopath, sort of. Anyway, that's sort of a recommendation from me for Brightburn. If you are okay with a little bit of gore and a kind of a goofy take on the horror genre, or even, a goofy take on the superhero genre, I think it was kind of a cool thing what they did. And yeah, it's not super long. It's a pretty breezy watch. Yeah, so I recommend Brightburn to people that might enjoy those things I just said. So the other movie is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I also, no spoilers, I really, really enjoyed it. It's way longer than I thought it was going to be. It's about 2 hours and 40 minutes or something. I wasn't in a great mindset going into the movie. I think I waited a little too late in the night and I was a little tired. But I was like, 3 hours. Like, I kept I probably should have waited and watched it a different time. But it took me a little bit to get into it. But then it had me. At a certain point, I was like, I want to see what's going on here. I want to see these characters do their thing. Quentin Tarantino does a lot of odd things. He makes odd choices, which is good. If you're he's one of the best, like best filmmakers, and you gotta make strange choices. Be different. Of course, there's a lot of feet. Feet are prevalent in most of Quentin Tarantino's movies. There's actually a funny moment in this one where I made a mental note to tell people about it, where if if you're in a car, if you get into another person's car, and even if you're a beautiful, sexy, slutty hippie girl, you're not. Don't put your fucking bare feet on the windshield. Like, how's Brad Pitt not yelling at you right now? Like, get your dirty fucking Cheeto dust orange disgusting feet off my fucking windshield. Like, I'm giving you a ride and you're being very disrespectful. I was like, ew, bitch, gross. Like, I'm not standing for this. The dude does not abide. This aggression will not stand. Everything looks really nice. They use some really well done CG trickery to put Leonardo DiCaprio into some older movies. I wasn't familiar with at least one of the movies that they digitally put him in, but it looked good. I thought it looked really good. I think it's a really cool look at a certain part of Hollywood. It's a cool like behind the scenes kind of what it would be, what it's kind of like to be an actor in certain situations, or just to live in Hollywood and be around those types of people. You know, you got your crazy hippie commune people, you got your Hollywood elite, your actors and your directors, and what it's like to kind of be aging out of Hollywood and like worry about being forgotten and stuff like that. I think Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt are a great duo. I think they work really well together. I thought they acted very well. I believed the performances for the most part. The other characters are pretty interesting. Margot Robbie's character, she's surprisingly, just upbeat and smiley and positive about everything. At some point in the movie, though, Kurt Russell starts narrating, and I thought that was kind of an odd choice. Because, as far as I can remember, he wasn't narrating through, first, third, or half of the movie. And then there's, a chunk of it where Kurt Russell is narrating some of it, and I thought that was kind of odd. The stuff at the end is my absolute favorite stuff. During a lot of it, you're getting to know how he trained, how Brad Pitt's character was very strictly trained his dog, and it pays off at the end in a big way. I totally forgot, after a certain point in the movie, I forgot that this was a Tarantino movie. So it's going to get very graphic and gory, and it does. The last third of the movie is probably my favorite stuff. I was already kind of glued to the screen. And then you get your over-the-top Quentin Tarantino gore, which I forgot, it just hit me. I was like, oh yeah, that's what he does, Tarantino movie. In the end, I was pretty satisfied with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I think it's a very good movie. I think Tarantino is a very good director. But anyway, yeah, that's a pretty high recommendation for me. Recommendations on both of those, probably a little more high recommendation on this one, on Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, because it's a little bit of it's a higher profile movie, obviously. Anyway, so yeah, both of those are pretty cool. I recommend Brightburn, and I recommend Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. That is my reaction to those movies. No spoilers, and have a great March, everybody. Yeah, have a great March. All right, peace out.